Let me take you into my counseling room for a moment. A couple is seated before me. They've been married for 3 years. They're exhausted, confused, wondering what went wrong. And then one of them says it. We never talked about this before we got married. Money, in-laws, relationship rules, faith, expectation, the things that shape a marriage every single day. They never discuss them. Now, they're trying to build clarity in the middle of a conflict. If that sounds heavy, good. Because today I want to make sure that if you are single, what happened to that couple doesn't happen to you. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Taya Aluko. For over 2 decades, I've been married. And for years now, I've counseled couples navigating the gap between what they hoped their marriage would be and what it has actually become. This is what I know, that the depth of your questions before marriage will determine the strength of your foundation inside it. And most people, they never ask. They choose the dress, they book the venue, they send the invitations, but they skip the conversations that actually matter. So, in today's video, we're going beneath the surface. And we're starting with the hardest person to be honest with, you. Before you evaluate your partner, you need to know who you are. Because you can't build clarity with another person when you are still a mystery to yourself. So the first set of questions are questions that you must ask yourself. Let's get into it. First question, who are you really? Not the version of you that shows up at girls' hangouts or guys' days out. Not the version of you that your family expects you to be. Not the filtered, accommodating, everything is fine version. Who are you? What do you value when no one is watching? What do you stand for when it costs you something? What kind of person are you becoming or do you want to become? Self-awareness is not selfish. It is the foundation that every honest relationship will be built on. Question 2. What kind of life do you actually want? Love is beautiful, but love in the wrong direction can become exhausting. You can be emotionally compatible, but directionally you are incompatible. So you have to ask yourself, where do you want to live? What role does career play in your identity? Do you want children? If you do, how many and when? How important is faith? How important is community? Are you a private person or you love adventure? Because in 5 years' time, when one of you wants to live in the city and the other wants the countryside or the village, when no one wants 3 children and the other wants 5, we will figure it out. Will not work. Question 3. What type of marriage do you want? Here, don't think wedding. Think life after the wedding. Traditional roles or flexible partnership? Joint decision making or clear leadership? Do you want a tight-knit, extended family kind of relationship or you want strong boundaries? Are you expressive, affectionate? Are you calm or reserved? If you don't design the kind of marriage you want intentionally, you are going to inherit one by default. Usually from what you saw growing up in your parents' house, usually culture or assumptions. And this is the place where resentment starts because you find yourself in a place you are that you don't really want to be. Question 4, what do you need to heal from? This question people don't talk about. They're not even aware sometimes. Do you need to heal from past betrayals? Are there childhood wounds? Are there trust issues? Do you have a fear of abandonment? Do you have a people-pleasing pattern? Let me say this clearly. Unhealed wounds don't disappear because you fell in love. You know what happens? They wait. Then they show up in your tone during conflict. They show up when you start to withdraw because you feel hurt. They show up when you can't articulate your needs. Healing is not a nice to have. Healing is the work that will protect your marriage from becoming the next wound. Very important. Now, let's move from questions to ask yourself to questions you ask your partner. Not romantic questions, but they can become the bedrock of romance. These questions will help you to move from me to we with clarity, with alignment, and with purpose. Let me say this, it shouldn't feel like an interrogation. What you want to do is weave your questions into conversations so that you are having meaningful conversations. Now, when you do this, you create space for honesty and for openness, not for performance, not for one person working to the answer. The first set of questions are self-awareness questions. These questions help reveal who you are marrying. Ask them, what triggers you emotionally? How do you handle stress when life gets hard? What does personal growth look like to you? How open are you to counseling when we have challenges or we're struggling? Listen to how they answer. You're looking out for defensiveness. This could be a red flag. Humility. This could signal growth. Next set of questions, accountability related questions. Here you're looking for maturity and responsibility. Next, we move to empathy related questions. And these gauge your partner's ability to step out of their own experience and genuinely consider experiences of others. You want to ask questions like these. When you disagree with your friends or your colleagues, you try to understand their point of view. When someone's reaction to something seems completely disproportionate to yours, what is your first thought or approach? Have you ever had to change your mind because you understood someone else's perspective better? Empathy is important because it is what will keep you connected when logic is trying to pull you apart. Next set of questions are questions looking at flexibility because life doesn't stay still. Careers shift, bodies change, plans may collapse. So you want to ascertain how they handle change. Are they rigid or are they adaptable? Can they pivot when life demands for a pivot? Rigidity will suffocate relationships. But when there's flexibility, your relationship is able to breathe. Now, I want to move on to having the expectations conversation, which is also very important. There are 8 major areas that every couple must discuss, not casually, but deeply, when it comes to expectations. Number 1 is values. What do you stand for? What does your partner stand for? Number 2 is belief and mindset. How does your partner see the world? Number 3 is faith and spirituality. What role does faith play in their life? And what role do they want it to play in their home? Number 4 is money. How do they earn? How do they spend? How do they save? And what is their money mindset? Number 5 is marriage vision. What kind of marriage do they want to build? Number 6 is relationship rules. Who will do when, how? Number 7 is family and in-laws. What boundaries will you put in place? Number 8 is personal goals. Where are you going? What is your growth mindset? It's very important to talk about money. Talk about it honestly. Separate account, joint account, who handles what financially, how much are you going to be saving, spending, money mindset, because money reveals values. So you have to ask the unspoken money expectation questions. Then talk about faith. Talk about it openly. How is faith going to shape your home? Will you attend church together? How will you handle disagreements about spiritual practices? Are you aligned spiritually? Don't assume alignment, confirm it. Talk about family clearly. What boundaries do we need with our parents? What expectations do our parents have of us? Where does loyalty lie when we disagree? These conversations will prevent silent resentment later. What about background and upbringing? Reality is that we all carry emotional blueprints from our childhood. And so you need to ask, how did you see your parents handling conflict when you were growing up? How did your family show affection? Did they even show affection? How was money handled in the home that you grew up in? You're not interrogating their past. You're just trying to understand the patterns that may have been repeated when they were growing up that they have become influenced by. Background doesn't define someone. I have to state that and stress that, but it can explain reactions. And so don't overlook background. So I've been speaking a lot about questioning, and questioning is very important. But while you're questioning, observation is also key because observation will reveal true intentions. Patterns reveal character, so watch out for patterns. Look out for how they treat people who can't benefit from them. Observe how they handle stress when nobody is watching. Observe their consistency, not just their promises. Do they keep to their word? Do they keep to time? Do they keep to their promises? Look out for their relationship with money. Observe it over time. Observe how they handle conflict. How do they respond to conflict situations? Because, red flags do not scream. Sometimes they whisper. So you're checking out for defensiveness when they are questioned or when they feel threatened. You are looking out for avoidance when it seems like things are difficult. You are looking out for stories that keep shifting depending on who their audience is. You are looking out for concerns that you raise that they're dismissing. People will tell you things, but patterns will show you the truth. Trust the pattern over the things that you are being told. Very critically important. Now, if you have been watching this video and you're realizing that we never had these conversations, don't panic, but don't ignore it either. Clarity can still be built. Alignment can still be created. Emotional safety can still become the foundation of your relationship. And this is the exact work that I do. Premarital clarity sessions, safe space, hard questions, honest answers. Relationship coaching for couples who want to grow together, not just survive together. Marriage counseling for those who are already married and realizing that they didn't do this work before they got married. I help couples move from hoping things work out to building something that is sustainable that actually works. If you want to book a counseling session, you'll find the details in the description below. Because a healthy marriage will not happen by accident. It will happen by intention. It will happen by design. You deserve to enter yours with your eyes wide open and your foundation rock solid. Did this video resonate with you? Please share it with someone who is preparing for marriage or who is already in a marriage. Subscribe if you care about emotional intelligence, if you care about real love, if you care about building homes that feel safe. Remember, don't just plan a wedding day. Prepare for a marriage that will last. The ceremony lasts a day, but the clarity you build before the ceremony is what will ensure that your marriage lasts a lifetime. Again, my name is Taya Luku. Thanks for watching this video. God bless you. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.